Right. How's it going, Martians? Kicked 5 minutes early as usual. Get some shout outs to the chat. Ducky McScrooge, first one in here today. How's it going, brother? Okay, it's my favorite Martian. Coming on live, so time to put on the kettle. Ah, yeah. Let's brew us some tea. Let's get ready. Alex Yeet, how's it going, bro? I like that you call me that your phone autocorrects to Marshall all the time. I'm clearly a Marshall out here. Oh, wait. Second. We're probably lagging there because I had a my hotspot on, so I can pull up some articles that we're gonna go over today. Uh, Late night, how's it going? Is this live now or later? It's live now. We're doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing it live right now. Kevin Daniel, GeoXRP, how's it going? How's it going? Enough is enough. It's never enough, though, brother. It's never enough, though. If that is to happen, then we will be seeing 3 digits soon. Yeah, if we go exponential, Connie, you look great with the wrench by your name. Glad to see you in here. It's never cool, the fool. The fool is always running hot. That's me, right? I'm running hot all day, every day. Since 7 even 87, some things are just a fantasy. Uh, you say I'm a dreamer, but this chat says I'm not the only one, right? But hope you all are having a good day. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Mr. Big Man, how you doing? Matsumara, Fishworks, Life is Fair, good to hear. Charles Cossack, glad to see you in the chat. What's up? Who let the booze out? How you doing today? Charles Cossack again. Carl Wagner, glad to see you in the chat, brother. And Simon Biggerton. And Ron, how you doing, dude? I haven't seen you in the live stream for a minute. Glad you were able to make it. Cashflow Nexus. Keep up those great price TA videos, brother. You're killing it. You were like, people were skeptical the first 2 weeks, but like, I followed you right out the gate. And that's why anybody out here that's not already following Cashflow Nexus, you need to subscribe to this man. He is a freaking champion when it comes to TA. He's been like nailing every one of these moves that we've seen for like 2 weeks now? 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? Like, almost perfect calls. Like, you're just killing it, dude. Keep it up. Darcy B, what's up? How's it going? Aiden Trading in the house. How you doing, brother? All right, guys. So I'm gonna get down here, catch up with the chat. We can't break 30 cents. You know what? That's what they're saying about we can't break 24 and we couldn't break 25, okay? It's happening. It's slow. The growth is there, though, ladies and gentlemen. The growth is there. I'm there at the bear bull, average and aggressive. I feel it, dude. I feel it. But yeah, you got just we just got this 30-cent range is gonna be an issue. Richie XRP Rich, how you doing, brother? Absolutely, we're gonna keep up the good work. And we got some great news to do today. Heaven Beatbox. Oh, this is live, bro. This is live. It's live in like 1080p. We can see all my like, the pores in my face even today. Apparently I got it on 1080. If it's laggy, let me know, but hopefully not. I'm gonna fix the angle here too. Bring this down just slightly. All right. You're thinking it's playback? Nah, dude. I do all my content now. I do live because it takes me forever and a half to upload anything. So let that guy go, and then we'll jump in the news. What's up, Coin Pimpin'? How you doing, brother? Glad to see you in the chat. Let's see here. Crypto Ninja, are you smoking crack? XRP will not replace the USD. Wake up. Hey, you know what, Crypto Ninja? You think what you want. But you know what? When the IMF is telling the central banks of the world that that the dollar is about to be replaced, hey, you can tell them they're smoking crack over there at the the top of the pyramid of the financial world. All right, dude. I don't make the rules. Okay. I don't make the claims. Other people do, and I just sit here and say it's probably XRP they're talking about. They're talking about a digital asset that's going to dethrone the dollar, okay? So you go bitch at them. You say, Christine Lagarde, or whoever the new head is over there, I don't know their name. New director of the IMF, you are smoking crack if you think you, as the person who determines what the global reserve currency is ever going to dictate that the dollar will not be the global reserve currency. Let's see if it replaces the USD, however, will be a stablecoin. Nothing. First off, no. You cannot have a new global reserve currency be a stablecoin. This dude needs this backing up nonsense here. You're not going to have a stablecoin replace a global reserve currency. That's first and foremost why we're moving away from the dollar as a global reserve currency. because your global reserve currency is supposed to appreciate in value while your national currency is supposed to depreciate in value. And that gives you the greatest spread for economic growth. If you understood economics on a global scale, you'd be like, oh, damn, I could never say that, right, bro? You're really, I get you want to be skeptic, Crypto Ninja. And here's the thing, you're absolutely right in my assumption that it's going to be XRP, right? Like, I won't deny that I'm assuming that they're talking about XRP with this news because they don't mention any digital asset by name. So in that regard, it could be Dogecoin. They might pick Dogecoin, dude. They might pick Doge. They might pick the Doge for the memes. For the memes, Dogecoin might become global reserve currency, okay? I don't know which one it's going to be. I just got a good bet, a good hunch, based upon the fact that this article we're going to read from the IMF, they're quoting Adrian Tobias, who is actually an individual who has promoted Ripple specifically. So they aren't going to create one. Crypto Ninja, do you know anything about the history of nations and how, right, Ron? Yo, Richie, thank you so much for the 5 bones, brother. I am not the best YouTuber out here, but I appreciate the compliment. You know, there's so many people on this space, and I won't ever take that, but I appreciate the compliment nonetheless, brother. Can you make a video on how and where cash out when XRP moons? So, really, I can't do that kind of video because depending on where you're at, even in America, you know, like if you're in New York, you're gonna have different cash out places than me out here in California because New York's really stringent, right? And if you're in Canada, I have no idea. I know that you can use Coinfield, but I don't know of any other like Canadian focused exchange, right? So that's something you got to do your own research for. Big Doug Surf Vlog, what's up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Glad to see you in the chat. They won't be able to create one because the federal government is inept. That's so true, though. That's so true. But yeah, it's like when you look at how innovation and adoption of new technologies operates when it comes to the government never creates their own thing. They just adopt from the private sector and make it, you know, government mandate. Look at Google, look at the internet, look at Facebook, look at, you know, literally the history of American entrepreneurialism, right? We are a free economy that is driven by innovation in the markets that the government then mandates through legislation that becomes unfairly slanted towards those emergent trends, right? David Schwartz started the NSA at the NSA. Yeah, absolutely right. You're absolutely right, brother. Connie, hit the like. Thank you. Oh, no. Shut up there, Google. I'm not talking to you right now. All right, guys. We're about 8 minutes in here. We're about 5 minutes into the normal stream time. We got 87 y'all in the chat. Please hit that like, and we're going to jump right into this first article here. This comes from Bloomberg, and it says, it's titled, Fed Drags Its Feet as Digital Money Challenges Central Banks. All right? Quote. I actually accumulated a ton of Doge back before XRP was even around. Lol. Still hold it just in case. Dude, you gotta hodl the memes. You gotta hodl the memes, Ron. You gotta hodl the memes. All right, so let's jump into this Bloomberg article. All right. So the IMF and Bank of International Settlements is urging central banks to study money innovation. Online shopping flips banking model towards simplified payments. All right. So when finance ministers and central bankers come to Washington this week, the International Monetary Fund has a message for them. In the US and other countries around the world, it is just a matter of time before we see massive disruption. This comes from Tobias Adrian. Tobias Adrian, for anybody who's not familiar, is somebody that I've covered on the channel when he was presenting before the Swiss National Bank 9th High-Level Research Conference. I have a 8 or 9 video long series on this. One video specifically dedicated only to Adrian speaking on CBDCs and how he believes that all these CBDCs are going to plug into a non-centralized international ecosystem where they will source liquidity through a sovereign currency, a sovereign technology. All right, that's why I think it's XRP. That's why I think it's XRP and not any other. But I might be wrong. Maybe I've taken a leap of logic or a leap of faith here on that, right? At any rate, Tobias Adrian is the director of the IMF's Monetary and Capital Markets Department, and he said in the interview, there is at least the potential new technology might lead to a new global payment system fairly rapidly. The G7 on Thursday will release broad guidelines for regulating digital money. And they will also discuss whether central banks should issue their own. Adrian's team is contributing to the report. Sounds a lot like Ron, I love you, dude. You're hilarious. All right, so central banks from Sweden to Canada and China are studying whether their money should have a digital counterpart. Sweden began a e-krona project in 2017 and has issued 2 reports on the topic. The Central Bank of Canada has launched a formal research project that has partnered with other monetary authorities, and the U.S. Central Bank, by comparison, is focused on updating the domestic payment system to real-time settlements so money moves almost instantly. And this is through the FedNow program. I have videos on this too. Anybody that isn't familiar. Coin Collector, how's it going, brother? Glad to see you in here. If it's not XRP, I'm selling and going into Litecoin because it's the right coin. You know what? And that's the thing too, right? We're not maxis in this channel. You know, if it comes out that these people adopt something other than XRP, guess what? I'm gonna be the first person in this ecosystem to say, guys, dump your ZERPs, get into this because this is the one they're using, all right? But for now, all of I say. And until somebody provides me hard evidence that more central banks are getting behind another cryptocurrency than they are getting behind XRP, it's XRP. Over 40 central banks are working with Ripple. It's totally XRP. I'll jump into Chainlink if it's not XRP. Exactly, right? XRP is like Rome. All roads are leading right back to it. Exactly, Ron. So it's like, you know, when I talk about why it's XRP that these people are talking about, it's not a bias, all right? I got into XRP because that's what everything was indicating, all right? That's why I'm huge on it. That's why my channel is dedicated to XRP, not to Chainlink, not to ADA, not to any other digital asset, not to Bitcoin, right? Because this is the one that these financial institutions have talked about. Now, they don't talk about it in this context, right? Fulvio, thank you for the 2 bones. Yo, thanks for your honest content. You're the best. Well, like I said, I just do what I can. I bring you guys the most, fair coverage of this ecosystem as possible. How do you feel about Chainlink? Late night, I like Chainlink for its Oracle service. I think that they have a strong future in derivatives market, and it's a huge market. You know, derivatives is over a $544 trillion market. So if Chainlink even takes 1% of that, 10% of that, anybody that's in Chainlink right now, they're happy. Just like if XRP takes even 5% of the remittance market, we're all going to be super happy, okay? Now, I think that they both capture far greater shares than what I just shared with you, right? I think XRP could dominate. I think because nobody else is in the remittance, I think XRP might take over the entire remittance market. And when it does that, it's going to take a healthy share of all the other markets. At the same time, I think since Chainlink is specialized in focusing on the derivatives and securities market, they're going to take at least a 10% share of those. And so Chainlink has a bright future, all right? So yeah, I think that I'm not somebody that's a maximalist who thinks that any one coin's gonna take everything over, right? And exactly, investment-wise, Libra will not be an XRP killer, but it'll take a larger share of the cake. Larger share. I don't know if it would take a larger share because Libra is a fiat-backed fiat currency. That's not a highly liquid project, and so XRP is targeting an entirely different use case from what Libra would. Now, I do believe that if Libra is allowed to actually come into fruition, if it's unstoppable, then yeah, a lot of retail investors, a lot of retail shoppers will use Libra coin, right? But Libra coin is going to have to plug into a liquidity source because it's not liquid itself. It has no. Jason R. Mirowitz, hi from New York City, my Martian brother. Do you think we can ever be a merger with XRP and XLM, a Ripple Stellar to smother the remittance world? Just thinking new paradigm here, thing based on cooperation. So, I sold all of my XLM back in July, Jason, and it's because eliminated all positions at IBM for their blockchain project involving Stellar employees or Stellar Foundation members. So to me, the writing is on the wall there that XLM is not their pick. So the movements that we see with XLM, they're correlated to XRP because a lot of the trading algorithms think that they treat them like they're the same thing, because that's what the mentality is of traders. And traders think, oh, these are the same network, so they're going to move the same, and so the algorithms make them largely move the same. But I think as we see utility become more prominent in the XRP ecosystem, that's when we see the decoupling from XRP and XLM. And unless Jeb really gets the ball on, I think XLM's a dead product. I think it's already dead, but it's still seeing movements. I'm not seeing any partnership announcements from them though. It's been all but silent since June for me. I haven't seen any articles on any kind of actual adoption, any kind of actual fundamental development for them. Now, maybe I've missed a few things, maybe I've missed something, but I don't see any hope for XLM at present, right? Maybe they'll come out with a big announcement next week and I'll totally reverse my opinion on it, but I just don't have strong views on XLM at the moment. If Chainlink takes any percentage of the derivatives market, it will directly affect XRP, since Chainlink is working with Ripple and XLM as well. And that's absolutely right, Ron. You can't separate XRP from this ecosystem at this point because it's so heavily entrenched. But let's get back into this article here. I see a lot of comments, a lot of people commenting. I'll get back. If I miss your comment, or if I didn't get you, just wait for me to get through this next section. I'll get back in the comments. I want to keep the news rolling here real quick though. So, as far as online purchases go, the first transactions are increasingly conducted online, and consumers and merchants want cheaper and faster payment systems. In the US today, payments travel through banks and credit card companies, and along the way, there are fees and delays. Those costs cut particularly hard against gig workers. So anybody that works like Grubhub or any delivery job, anything where you're not like a full-time employee, but you're freelance essentially. It's hitting you hard. It also hits immigrants and people with low income the hardest, which are the people who need the money the most, because if you're wealthy, you're not spending your monthly income every single month. A poor person does. And so if you're giving money to poor people, or if you're enabling poor people to keep more of their money, then that means that they're going to create more velocity of money within the economy. And so that's actually one reason why the economy is slowing so much, why velocity of money has slowed so much over the last 2 decades, almost longer really, is because even though the economy has been doing fantastic, the wealth that has been generated has been going to the top 1%, 0.1%, so on. And so what that's doing is it's restricting velocity of that money because it's not trading hands as rapidly, right? And so that's slowing global growth. That's slowing the global economy. And so that's why these financial institutions, because not only does it save them more money, but it also means that there's going to be more economic growth, meaning they get better returns on their yields, right? Or not yields, better returns on their investment. Their investment by giving a loan to a small business person. Simon Bickerton, you're damn straight out of bone. Because an apartment is stupid expensive. Who's gonna rent an apartment when you can be putting that rent into XRP? I mean, I'm just forward thinking here. That's what I'm saying. Why have a negative cash flow when you can have a positive cash flow? I mean, everything that I have put in has gained me money now because XRP went up 6% today. Whose rent money paid them 6% interest this month? Anybody? No? Silent? Okay. There you go. Proof in the pudding, right? So, the American payment system is a giant reverse Robin Hood, sucking billions of dollars out of the people who live paycheck to paycheck and depositing money in the form of credit card rewards to the already rich. This is said by Aaron Klein, a fellow at the Brooklyn Institute in Washington, who is critical of the roughly 5 to 6 years the Fed says it will take to launch its own real-time payment system, the FedNow system. So the second trend is a potential threat. Social media and online platforms like Facebook could create a stablecoin. Anybody that wants to go invest in a stablecoin, have at it. Go invest in the Tether coin and tell me how much money you make over the next year, right? You're going to do the same thing if you buy Libra. So go ahead, put your money there. Go ahead. They don't care about that though. Anyways, A stablecoin's value is linked to some reserve asset and is designed to have less price volatility than cryptocurrency. So more on Libra coin here. They talk a little bit about Libra. But I want to jump down here to the next section where they're talking about the Federal Reserve. So they're talking about, oh, I'll read the quote here from Coronado. So the monetary authority must recognize the current system does not fully serve the public's needs anymore, and some degree of disruption is inevitable. And this is, again, stated by Coronado, and the article goes on to say that that's a tall order for the Fed to accomplish without congressional backing to support of the banking system, with which it has deep historical linkages. And so the space, and really whenever, anybody who knows anything about business, anything about growth, right? It's never the incumbent, it's never the entrenched industry who makes the first move. You're not getting any living in your car. No, Simon, you're actually false there. I'm getting more living in my car than not, because again, I'm not paying $1,000+ a month for an apartment that I would be in for long enough for me to jack off and pass out in the middle of the night. Because that's the only thing anybody is in an apartment for, because most people are working their butts off all day, every day. And so, yeah, I'm actually making a lot of money staying in my car versus getting an apartment. You can be, but go ahead, continue to be a consumer. Maybe you have a family, maybe you have to have a house. I'm not. I'm a single man. I ain't got anything to worry about. And you know what's great about being a single man living in this car? I get booty still. Well, not now, because I have a girlfriend and she's kind of on the other side of the country, or the other side of the world. So I'm not getting booty right now. Sorry, babe. I'm not going behind your back. I promise. I'm just pointing out that it's not hard for somebody to get booty when they car camp. You just have to know how to play the game. All right. At any rate, back on topic, off of my personal life here. Yeah, he's about to get the block there, XRP legend, because he's obviously trying to troll. The Federal Reserve has no formal digital currency research effort, though its economists are keeping abreast of the topic. It is occupied with the build out of its real-time payment system, FedNow. FedNow will compete with a private payment system run by banks that is already delivering real-time payments for a fee. It will also continue working through a bank-centered model rather than a payment-centered model. In fact, FedNow intentionally strengthens the current banking model rather than disrupting it. A digital currency is really about the industrial... Sorry, I'm getting a lot of... I'm going to stop notifications from the Telegram group there, so it's not vibrating the phone for you guys. Okay, so digital currency is really about the industrial organization of the payment system, said former Richmond Fed President Jeffrey Backer. The Fed has always aligned itself with the banking system, and FedNow is about preserving the privileged place banks have in that system. Fed Governor Lael Brainard, definitely butchered his name, Lael Brainard, spoke about the costs and benefits of stablecoins and central bank digital currencies on Wednesday in Washington. It's a sheet. In the extreme, widespread migration to one or more global stablecoin networks could disintermediate the role of banks and payments. So again, this goes to the Federal Reserve, or to the IMF warning that Tobias gave. Okay, but Simon, I'm over you, dude. You're obviously a troll, bro, so you're gonna be hidden. Man, you've been watching my channel for a long time too, but you're just butthurt that I'm saving money and you're spending it in ways that you don't have the balls to go and do yourself to actually make money, bro. So that's not my fault. If you don't have the balls to go and take a plunge for this once in a lifetime opportunity, have at it, dude. But I'm done listening to you. All right. It's just you're just being ignorant. Anyway, sorry to disrupt the news here, guys. We got trolls in the chat. Anybody, mods, if you see people just being that way, you're free to remove their message first, and if they keep at it, just remove them from the channel. You have permission to block people that are ignorant like that. Especially if I have to warn them once or twice, Economists predict the Fed can't wait much longer to confront the question of digital currencies. That's also the view of the leaders of the Bank of International Settlements, Augustin Karsten, right? Everybody knows him. He was actually the bear at the Swiss National Banking Research Conference, the SNB. Listen to that panel that I have the 9 video breakdown here on the channel where I went into I broke it down Old Testament simple style for that. Just go watch that video if you don't understand what's going on with this, right? But Augustin Karsten House, Adrian Tobias talk about how XRP is about to take over the world. And literally, not even a week later, this dude comes out. He makes an announcement at a Bank of International or a BIS conference saying digital assets are the future. All right. So, it doesn't matter what some Joe Schmo out here thinks about XRP, about this assets class, about this space. It's here to take over. It's here to revolutionize the world, and it's doing it every single day. That's why, show me a digital asset who their conference, their specific conference just for their crypto or their project they're working on. Show me any of them have the director of the IMF in attendance, that have individuals from the Bank of International Settlements in attendance, that have, world leaders attending to speak in regards to specifically their payment system. All right. You ain't going to find me one. I know you're not going to find me one because I tried to find somewhere else that these people were talking, some other digital asset, or fintech group that they're trying to promote. Not one, right? BSV. Oh my God, Birdie, did you see the tweet I shared of Coinbase calling out freaking fake Toshi? It was so great. That was like the greatest. I loved it. I was having a blast with that. So good. Okay, so anyways, on the topic, the Bank of International Settlements and IMF are warning that there's a depression, that these digital currencies could create a depression era on institutions that were founded to help stabilize the global monetary system. Right? So this is serious. This is global disruption that is coming from this industry. And it's coming from specific players in this industry. Again, XRP, maybe Chainlink's included in that. Maybe, ADA could be included in that. IOTA, I think, IOTA's got a lot of partners, so they could be included in it. Crypto Mike would state that, and has a lot of partnership evidence that Flexa is included in that as well, right? But really, we know that the top of that pyramid, by and large, because the people being targeted at the top of the pyramid are being targeted by Ripple. The Bearable Bull, what's up? How do I feel about Fed potentially using repo injections to buy more XRP? It's free money, so might as well. I think that's Bearable. I've been thinking a lot lately that what we're seeing going on with the Federal Reserve, I'm done with this article, so we'll go to the next article after this. So I think what we're seeing with the Federal Reserve doing this short-term loan market bailout is that we're just one step away from them saying, okay, well, if we keep doing this, we're going to hyperinflate the dollar. So if instead we inject these dollars into a digital asset, a decentralized ecosystem, we could hedge the dollar against that, which would allow that we can hedge against the dollar and then use to liquidate the traditional financial markets. So I think it's absolutely possible. It's like what I think it was David Schwartz who's pointed out, but no, it's Brad Garlinghouse pointed out that what XRP is doing, what it's trying to do in regards to becoming a global reserve currency, is solve the Triffin's dilemma. And the Triffin's dilemma is what's created by a nation whose currency is both a national currency and also the global reserve currency. And it creates this paradox because, again, when your nation's currency has a high valuation, it makes it extremely hard for your nation's workers to compete with other countries as far as produce or production. That's why America has had to outsource most of its production to China, to Brazil, to other third world nations, because it's not economically feasible for us to both produce and maintain the global reserve, because our employees are like beyond expensive. It is absurd how expensive it is to hire American employees for production of anything that is going to any other country outside of America. So this is if the Federal Reserve would just pull their head out their rear and realize that this is actually a benefit to America, a benefit to our economy, and I think they know. Honestly, I think they really know, because you don't, like, people like us get this. A lot of people in this community understand what we're talking about when it comes to the Trippen's dilemma. So it would be extremely arrogant and ignorant, really, to think that the Federal Reserve doesn't know. I think that really this is a smokescreen. I think that they're just trying, they're slowly easing the public in, right? They're slowly transitioning the public, and they don't want to cause mass hysteria, mass riots. So it's about, leading the public on to believe that there is no alternative. This is the only way for us to stabilize the economy with the least amount of pain to everybody. And so it's just a matter of how long it takes them to feel that, they have the public ready for this. We've been Ferdy, I love you. but to the point, we're seeing, this talk from the Federal Reserve about them releasing their own CBDC is not new. They've been talking about this for at least 2 months now, because I remember reading an article about it back in August. I think it was towards the end of August, so maybe it's only been about a month and a half now. But this isn't a new topic of the Federal Reserve discussing releasing their own central bank digital currency. So it's about getting the public comfortable with this idea before they do it. They have to just keep saying, the economy is in the tank, it's going down, the dollar's too strong, it's causing pressure on, emerging markets and on other nations, first world nations now. All our issues that we're having with the global economic slowdown and the coming crisis, it all revolves around the fact that the dollar is too strong, and that's why we're having to lay off American employees. So the only thing we can do is devalue the dollar. That's why Trump wants the Federal Reserve to reduce interest rates to negative, below zero. It's, in any model prior to where we're at now, it would be economic suicide. And in a sense, it kind of is economic suicide, right? But it's that, or we have mass unemployment, and America is, in Civil War 2.0. Bearable Bull says, Fed releasing CBDC news in the mainstream now ensures that XRP adoption is close. ID gap, what others say, it's blatantly obvious. I 110% agree, Bearable Bull. And there's a lot of people in our community that don't understand this, because they're new, or they don't have the time to really dedicate, like me and you do, to really researching and getting up to our necks in the BS that is all out here. It's a lot for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. I totally get it. But I think that a lot of people are waking up to it. I think that a lot of people in the space are realizing that there's some big move being made behind the scenes. And even though we can't say with 100% certainty that it's XRP that is going to see the writing on the wall, we've watched the meetings between these high-level executives from, the Bank of International Settlements, from the IMF, from the European Central Bank, from World Bank, from literally, all these major central banks and global regulators regarding digital assets, regarding Ripple specifically. And so it's on like Donkey Kong, as DAI says, right? Bearable says, for example, Galgatron, lol, this dude blocked me and I never said a word to the man. Yeah, Galgatron blocked me before I even started my YouTube channel, because I think that the issue comes down to a lot of Americans don't want to accept that all good things come to an end. There's never in the history of this planet been an empire that survived, the test of time. So anybody, the Roman Empire collapsed, the Greek Empire collapsed, the Roman Empire collapsed, the first Chinese Empire collapsed, the French Empire collapsed, the Danish Empire collapsed, the British Empire collapsed. Guess what? America is not going to be any different. And do you know why you can absolutely say with certainty that America will not be any different? Because America has done the same exact thing every other empire in the history of empires has done. We have tried to institute our regime globally. Every time, and that's why it's, we're not the American nation, we're the American empire. That's why we have over 190 military bases all over the planet. Show me any other country that comes even close. You won't, because it's never even happened in the history of the world. America's the first to do it. Now, here's the thing. Just because I'm saying that the American empire is going to die, that's not me saying that America dies, right? Now, it might be broken up. We might go into like a statist system, sort of like all the states become their own, quasi nations, or maybe we see like multiple states form new unions separate from each other. We might see something like that. Or America might survive as a collective nation, but we're going to almost certainly be giving up our foreign, territories. But at the end of the day, the American empire cannot survive. It's just like Britain's still a thing. UK is still a thing. The UK empire collapsed. The French empire collapsed. The Danish empire has collapsed. But these nations still exist, right? So keep in mind that me saying that us moving away from this system is not me saying it's the death of America. It's just the death of the empire, all right? And we will absolutely come out the other end with a new currency, because that's like, first and foremost, that's what happens when an empire collapses. It's because its currency collapsed. And so that's what we're watching happen. It's going to happen, unfortunately. Crypto miner, would I take a chip to be able to use your XRP? If that becomes the only way for me to use my XRP crypto miner, I will take it in my left hand, because that's not a mark. The mark is taken in your right hand if you're paranoid about this being like if you're a Christian who or somebody of Abrahamic belief who believes that the chip is the mark. If you actually read the passage, the mark is placed in your right hand or on your forehead. Take it in your left hand and you circumvent the mark. It's, the Bible doesn't say, I don't want to stay on this because, religions are a very messy topic, but for those who are wondering, the Bible does not say anything about a chip. It does not say anything about something being a chip being inserted into you. It says that you will receive a mark. Okay, it's usually referred to as a tattoo. That's why you're not supposed to tattoo yourself in Christian beliefs if you're actually if you want to adhere to your Bible. Anybody who has a tattoo, guess what? You just committed a sin against the temple of your body, right? But we're going to stop on that. The point is that the Bible describes the mark as being on your forehead or on your right hand, not your left, specifically your right or forehead. So that's where we're going to end that. But I would take a chip on my left hand. If it's forced on my right hand, I'm going to cut my right hand off, CKJ's cellmate, say, oh, sorry, I can't take it. I don't got a right hand anymore. I do that, I mean, but let's get off of this. Let's get off of that topic, because it's a very, there's a lot of people in this chat who I'm sure are not Christian that don't want to even talk about this, that feel that this is one way or the other, right? I have a Flutterbee tattoo, and God forgave me. See, that's the beauty of most religions, well, and we can cross this over all religions. So regardless of your religion, unless you're atheist or, agnostic, every single deity forgives you of your sins. Hindu and Buddhism, karma, right? Karma, you're forgiven. That you just gotta get good karma, and it forgives the bad karma. Sins in Abrahamic religions are forgivable, aside from Jewish. In Judaism, it's not. Judaism's a bit harsh. The God of Jewish people is very, very cruel, but he's all loving. I don't want to talk. I'm done with this. I'm going to the next article. I'm sorry, guys. I should not be on this topic. It is very tough to be on. So we're going to move on to our next article here. And this one is specifically talking about the Federal Reserve. And so we go, this is from Token Post, and it's titled, U.S. Fed actively looking and debating digital currency issuance, said by Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan. So a number of central banks around the world, including People's Bank of China, the Swiss National Bank, SNB, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, and Sweden's Riksbank, are exploring digitized versions of their national currencies. The Federal Reserve has so far refrained from revealing if it was considering a digital dollar. However, a Fed official has now said that the central bank was in fact actively looking. The big reveal was made by Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas President Robert Kaplan at the local business event in Austin, Texas. Specifically, or quoting him directly, he said, "We have not at the Fed decided to pursue or drive to develop a digital currency, but it's something we're actively looking at and debating." So the US dollar is the dominant currency in the international markets, representing around 60 to 65% of global currency reserves. This is reported by central banks to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. So in a recent survey, UBS said that the dollar will continue to enjoy the reserve currency status for over the next 25 years. And this is, again, posted by UBS. Kaplan, however, said that the U.S. could have to bear higher interest costs if an alternative currency by a foreign government or another entity received widespread adoption. But, to put things in perspective, he explains that if a loss of the reserve currency status led to a jump in the interest rates by even a single percentage point, the U.S. government's interest rates could jump to nearly $200 billion. It just reinforces the dollar may not be the world's reserve currency forever. And if it changes and you tack 100 basis points to $20 trillion with relatively short average life, that's a lot of money. And that is, again, stated by Kaplan. All of a sudden, we've got a tremendous problem here. So it's something we're watching very closely. And again, this is Kaplan's explanation for why the Federal Reserve is looking to developing their own CBDC, because the dollar will not survive this when this happens. Now, again, the UBS was saying that the dollar could survive as a global reserve for 25 years. But here's the thing. The only way it survives for the next 25 years is if we suddenly go from being an 11-year bull market to a 36-year-long bull market. Now, we're already 5 years into the longest, or past the point of when we should have had a recession. This is why everybody's so paranoid in the mainstream media that we're going to have a recession in 2020. When a recession comes, the Fed is going to, its balance sheet's not going to represent what they are now. They're going to have to take emergency actions, which will cause them to create more money, to print more dollars out of nowhere, and that's going to dramatically reduce the lifespan of the dollar, okay? That's exactly why the 25-year projection that they put out, I did a video on this too, sorry, when we were talking about Fed Now and how they're transitioning, I think I did a video on this just before the Fed Now announcement, actually, where I talked about the fact that, there's an article that came out that said exactly that the dollar could survive as the reserve for another 25 years. But I said in that same video that is assuming that there is no recession. That's assuming that the Federal Reserve can continue to play in this, near zero interest rate range where they continue to move money in and out of the economy based upon need. It's not going to work that way. We're topped out. And so that means that the only way for people to make a profit, a real profit in this market now, because we can't go up really any higher, is for people to sell out, spook a lot of people, a lot of dumb money out of the market, so that the market goes even lower. Then the smart money buys back in at the low, and they transition into a new run back up to the same range. That's what we're gonna trade and keep the market peaked out at 26,000 basis points, or at 26,000 on the Dow Jones for the next 25 years? No, not going to happen, right? So they're going to increase the amount of money in circulation. They're going to increase this so the market can seem like it's going up still, like it's continuing to appreciate. And so we're going to have a correction at some point within the next 2 years, easily. I think it's coming in 2020. I think that 2020 is hindsight for a reason, right? Anybody out there who knows anything about vision, 2020 vision is not perfect vision. It's average vision. That's why everybody has it. Perfect vision would be like 40/20 or 40/20. So you can see at 40 feet, or you can see something 40 feet in the same clarity somebody can see, normal person can see at 20 feet. So infinite/20 would be perfect vision, right? Whereas 20/20, that's just average. So why is 20/20 hindsight, right? Maybe it's a message. Maybe it's a hint. That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy, right? That's definitely conspiracy. But I think about that kind of stuff, right? I like, why is this a saying? Why is this a saying? And 2020 is like, it's been this number that people have talked about since long before Y2K even. Like I've heard reference to 2020 like my entire life. Why? Why is 2020 so serious? You know? And then we're coming into this year 2020 and we're talking about the global economic slowdown and all these technical and fundamental indicators pointing to the fact that the global market has peaked and that we're at this slowdown point. Well, you know, we can only slow down for so long before we invert and are slowing downward, slowly treading downward, right? So this can't be maintained forever, all right? To get back into the article here, just recently, J. Christopher Giancarlo, former CFTC chair, and Daniel Gorfine, former director of Lab CFTC, proposed a blockchain-based digital dollar to avoid the risk of the dollar losing its reserve currency status. So again, this very next section is pointing out that the way for the government to avoid, you know, catastrophic fallout of the death of the fiat dollar is from a digital dollar, a CBDC. And again, this leads back into the SNB research conference, right? So in the SNB research conference, it was laid out plain and simple that the liquidity issue, unless, once again, they are backed by a decentralized XRP. Brad Garlinghouse was on that stage when they're talking about that. It's gonna be XRP, and it's not gonna be Libra for the last time. You don't think it'll be Libra? Okay. I'm sorry, Crypto Ninja. You've been playing devil's advocate to me all day, so didn't mean to snap you like that. But yeah, I agree. It won't be Libra because Libra is a fiat, right? And like you say, it will be one that will make as it would be about 15 years. Yeah, I don't think that it'll even take 15, honestly, because the economic crisis is going to cause all of this to speed up. And again, we're 2 years away from this happening at most. At most. I think it's next year. I might be being pessimistic that, 2 years now is like, it's mathematical, it's like we can't avoid it. We're already down to we're down to 1.5% growth, guys. We're 1.5% growth. Dude needs to eat some chicken. So behind the bars, just so we're clear, I shower every single day because I have a YMCA pass. Now I will admit, I didn't shower before I did my live stream today. I showered last night, so that's why I'm looking pretty sweat. But yeah, definitely keep it clean, bro. People are vicious out here. They upset that somebody's out here taking a risk, you know what I mean? So anyways, a number of countries have already started exploring cryptocurrencies to bypass international financial sanctions. Venezuela has already launched its national cryptocurrency, the Petro, while Cuba and Iran are reportedly considering launching their own cryptocurrencies. More recently, North Korea was reported to be in the early stages of developing a Bitcoin-like national cryptocurrency. Moreover, a number of dollar-backed cryptocurrencies, or stablecoins, are now available in the market. Bermuda recently started accepting USD coin, USDC, a USD-backed stablecoin from Circle and Coinbase, as payment for taxes, fees, and other government services. So social media giant, let's get into Libra, Facebook has also unveiled its cryptocurrency plans this year as it unveiled Libra. The project has been facing regulatory pushback ever since Facebook made the official announcement in June. CEO Mark Zuckerberg is expected to appear before the House Financial Services Committee on October 23rd. So let's look forward to that, see what the word is from these regulators talking to Libra about how they need to construct this asset in a way that will be, in compliance with what these organizations want, right? Kaplan also pointed out, so last little comment here. I noticed Libra seems to be receding at the moment, Kaplan said, but somebody is going to figure out how to do this. Maybe somebody already has, right? So let's get into the comments here. I'll chat up with everybody. We got about 10 minutes. So, Ninja, I've been listening for 47 minutes waiting to hear one piece of real life news, not hype. What are you talking about, dude? I just spent like at least 20 minutes of this podcast reading articles from Bloomberg and from that are quoting the Federal Reserve, the IMF. What are you what hype? What are you talking about, bro? Open your ears. You need to go get a pick, clear the earwax out, right? And listen. Go back in the video and watch where I'm looking at this screen, okay? Where I'm looking at the screen, that's not me sharing my idea. That's quoting people. That's me quoting people who are in power. People that make you and me look like little ants on the street that are not worth shit. Our opinion does not matter to these individuals that I'm quoting, okay? I don't go around, my opinions that I share with you, just so we're clear, Crypto Ninja, when I share an opinion, it's based upon something somebody in power has said. I don't go around making things up, okay? I speculate on price. That's all I speculate on. And then I will say, okay, I'll speculate that, XRP is the one being chosen, but I make it very clear that connection, maybe it's a big conspiracy. They're presenting it like it's XRP to make us all think it's going to be XRP and it's going to be some other one because the powers that be would never let the average person make money. They never let that grows up in, middle class California, goes to Stanford, creates Facebook, becomes one of the most wealthy individuals in the world. Would never allow somebody who was born into a lower middle class family in New York come up through the reins, create an online store selling books, and then come up to be the most wealthy individual on this planet. See, I'm not conspiratorial enough out here to think that there's some power structure keeping us all down from getting up, man. No, the only thing keeping you down from getting up, man, is your negativity. You attacking your own self. You preventing your own success by saying it can never happen for me. Come on, man. That's just ridiculous, bro. You gotta pull your head out your own rear end thinking that you're not worth it. Nothing to do with XRP? Okay. You know what? These two articles, not. But what I was sharing with you, the information I was sharing and spouting off in relation to this is from the horse's mouth, from the SNB research conference. Brother, I have 9 videos, over 3 hours of me sitting there talking about, not me talking, the head of the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, the head Adrian Tobias from the IMF, one of the heads of the People's Bank of China, whatever their regulatory committee is. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. He was also present. We also had 2 economic professors who were at the SNB research conference sharing what I'm parroting for you, what I'm paraphrasing for you with XRP, okay? So if you don't like me talking about it, go watch those videos for yourself and listen to them say it from their mouth, all right? If you don't think I'm being honest, I have the videos on this channel. Go back and watch it because it's there. I'm not making this stuff up. So again, if you want to say that it has nothing to do with it, all right, cool, dude. I'll time you out if you want to keep arguing about it, being a little troll about it, because as I've said a dozen times now, it's on this channel, straight from the horse's mouth. So you go watch it yourself, all right? I'm done with it. I'm dropping it. Yeah, get back to playing Fortnite, bro. You're a ninja, so go play your ninja games. Man, it's crazy though. It's crazy that there are people in this space that, I'm living in my car, bro, so that I can get as much XRP as I can. That's how confident I am in this. It's not about being crazy either. It's because I see the writing on the wall, and I'm sitting here sharing it with you, all right? There is no reason for me to sit here and lie. There's no reason for me to live in my car and lie to you, okay? No point to it, because you don't have the money to make XRP go up. This whole chat room combined does not have the money to make XRP's price go up. I promise you. This whole chat room, every last person here, take it all along you can. We're not going to influence the price of XRP. So me telling you this has nothing to do with me thinking that I'm going to get the bigger fool in here so I can sell out. Nah, dude. I'm here until XRP hits $10, and that's when I take my first slice of profits. And that's not even a big profit range for me. I'm not taking big profits until we hit over $100, until we hit 3 figures. $10 is where I'm taking enough that I just get to sit back. I'm gonna be sitting in a nice house, so then I'd be like, hey, all these idiots out here didn't get in before $10. Just so you know, you still have an opportunity. It's still gonna go to $1,000. It's still gonna go to 10,000 eventually. But you didn't listen to me when I was telling you at 30 cents. So you can listen to me now, or you can ignore me now, right? I'm creating this content out here as somebody who is extremely prideful of never being wrong. And that's why when I am wrong, I take great humility to come out on my channel. I don't delete the content where I'm wrong, right? When I'm wrong, that content's still there. I just release a video saying I was wrong, so that you know that I'm being as genuine and honest as humanly possible with everybody out there. I'm not about somebody. I will talk about speculative price projections, right? I do that. And admittedly, they're all over my channel. I spent a whole 2 weeks basically creating a trend of videos specifically to talking about how we walk our way up these prices. All right. So that's if you don't like it, if you don't like the way I approach it, you don't have to watch my content, right? But yeah, dude, I would never. I value my credibility as a YouTuber, as somebody that 194 people right now are listening to. I value my credibility to you, my viewers, way too much to be lying, especially to be intentionally lying, right? I've messed up statistics, right? I have misrepresented a statistic before. And that to me is me giving false information that I came out and I was like, listen, here's exactly what this was. This is the exact thing that I missed. And I apologize. Here's what me having the full details now means to you though, right? Because I value you, my viewers, because without you, I'm going to have to go back to driving Grubhub and doing all kinds of other stuff to make an income. And I love this. I love the responsibility of being able to provide you content. Anybody out there listening, if you appreciate my content also, we're at 79 likes. So please be sure to hit that like if you feel that I do my best to be honest with you. Like, I know there's 79 likes, so let's see how many people think that I do my best to be genuine with you guys. So let's see what the likes do here. Maybe we go up none. Maybe nobody thinks that I'm a genuine person at all. We got 2 already, so thank you to those 2 people. But I hope you don't hide your Ledger Nano in your car. Nah, it's in a bank vault. Or a safety deposit box rather. But yeah, yeah, that'd be really irresponsible. I worried about that actually, Borislav. I was like, should I take this across the country with me? No, because exactly that. If my car ever got stolen, because it's everything's in here. So if my car got stolen, then not only would I lose all my clothes and everything, but then I lose everything that I spent, almost 2 years now saving. So hell no, that'd be dumb. Hazelcraft. Even then, XRP will go up. You will still make money while waiting for the real one. That's stupid to think otherwise. Yeah, what's up, Deep Mind? Speculation is healthy and natural as long as we don't expect concrete expectations. And that's another thing too, right? I say that regularly. I have this expectation that the price is going to go up through the roof, right? My ledger is boofed. The extra safe up there, boofed. I don't know what that means. Anyway, but that's something I make clear too. Whenever I make speculation on the channel, I'm pointing out that this is where it is potential, right? This is a possibility. A possibility is not an inevitability, right? A possibility isn't even a probability. It's just possible, okay? And when I laid out my 10,000 price, I think that there are very few people in this space who take a $10,000 price point as realistic, okay? And when I made my video about 10K, the way that I did it and I made very clear in that video, the only way that I see XRP exceeding $10,000 is if first it becomes the global reserve currency, and second, it dethrones the dollar, and the dollar becomes dramatically devalued. All right, that the dollar has to become devalued for XRP to become worth 10,000. It doesn't matter if all the world's money goes into XRP, if the dollar somehow in that scenario maintains its current value. But thankfully, you know, no currency lives in a bubble, right? So if XRP became the global reserve currency and it was, you know, used for all international payments, then the dollar would lose it would lose over 60% of all of its use case. And in that situation, because just like a cryptocurrency, if you don't have use case, you don't have real world value, right? So if XRP lost 60% of its use case, then it's going to be devalued by 2/3. So, you know, if the dollar lost 60% of its use case and XRP doesn't move a penny, or the XRP doesn't gain a single, you know, aspect of that utility, guess what? XRP from right here would still be about $1, right? That's how much that affects it. Now, if XRP takes on all the global remittances, that puts XRP up to over $1,000 price point. Well, you devalue the dollar by 2/3, and that $1,000 XRP is suddenly $3,000 XRP, right? That's how I did that math when I got up to 10,000. Now, there's another multiplier on there that I didn't include, and that was restriction of supply. And that's something else we're seeing now too, right? The $10,000 price point can be achieved not even through devaluation, but through the collateralization and locking up of XRP, right? So with the CoinField's trying to secure or tokenize the stock market by trying to create 30,000 different pairs on the XRP ledger. And if say those 30,000 pairs collateralize 10,000 XRP each, right? That's going to be 3 billion XRP that's locked away to collateralize those assets. It might be more, it might be less. I'm just throwing out a random ballpark figure to give you an idea, right? If we take 3 billion XRP out of the current circulating supply, that's going to mean that there is 30% less, there's going to be, we have about 4.8 billion XRP in circulation. So there's going to be about 8% less XRP available for trade, meaning that we're going to see about an 8% increase in the potential value of XRP just off of this very conservative range that I gave you. If they peg, you know, the 30,000 assets this way, all right? There are many different multipliers. Valley, thank you for the $10, brother. I will absolutely go buy a smoothie today. I've actually been craving a smoothie. Jumbo juice is like my absolute favorite, and that 10 bones, you know, I'll get about $6 out of that. So that's a jumbo. So thank you for the job, brother. But so like the idea though, guys, is that there are so many multipliers that are being created that, you know, I didn't even foresee when I did my 10,000 price projection video that could be added on to it to make it so it's even more realistic without some crazy kind of adoption, you know? If XRP just penetrates a bunch of different markets and is utilized in all these different markets where we wrap up all this XRP in trading, all this XRP to be collateralizing stocks, all this XRP to be used for remittance payments, all this XRP for speculative investors such as you and me, we're going to dramatically reduce the available circulating supply while the demand is being increased as we go. And this is going to Shane Ellis theory in practice, essentially, right? I'm so desperate. Whatever. Okay, yeah. I'm actually gonna block Crypto Ninja because now you're getting like now you're getting personal about it, right? So you're not even going after the points I'm making. You're just trolling. So if whenever you comment something ignorant, you can just be banned, bro. You're just getting ignorant. But yeah, guys. Let's see. Boris, what is your plan to build your passive income? So there's a lot of different platforms coming out now that are offering you interest on your XRP even. Binance released their somebody apparently the dollar cost average channel is not it's not in my comments. So Is anybody in the dollar cost average channel here in the chat? If you could, please put it into the chat and excuse me, put it in the chat for people to join. But somebody in the chat was pointing out exactly that. What the Binance now has a platform where you can get up to like, I think it's like 6% interest on your XRP, annual interest. So 6% interest on something that might be worth $1 million, that's passive incomes. That's $60,000 a year, right? That's more than. That's that's $60,000 a year on $1 million. If it if you have 10,000 XRP, the price matures to $100, you get 6% interest on that. Guess what? You're making $1 million or $60,000 a year passive. You're not even touching your base. So, and that's the beauty of this ecosystem too, right? Nexo's 8%. Compounded interest sounds good. Is it compounded interest on Nexo? Whoa. Yeah, guys, like if you have, that's the other thing too, is like a lot of people ask me like the ideal amount, and it depends, the ideal amount of XRP you need, it depends on what you can afford. I live in my car so I can afford more, because I just want all of it. I want to buy all of it. I want to buy 1 million X. If I get the opportunity to accrue 1 million XRP before the next bull run, you better believe I'm gonna accrue 1 million XRP before the next bull run. All right. The longer that this thing stays flat, that means the richer I am. All right. And that's what everybody needs to keep in mind. The longer that this price stays flat, that just means that you have more of an opportunity to get really rich. Right. And then the more rich you are, that means the more of an impact you can have on the globe, on the world, on your neighborhood, your state, your country, whatever, when this thing moons. If you get you might think, oh, I've got enough XRP, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire as soon as we hit X price point. Cool. You're gonna retire? Well, does that mean you're just done accruing XRP? You want any business venture that you want, this crazy idea that you wanted to pursue? You don't have like a cause that you've dreamed about being able to contribute a meaningful amount of money towards? Think about it that way. That's how I'm looking at it now. That's why I'm out here doing this, because I have an actual dream that I want to achieve, that this investment is potentially going to give me the opportunity to achieve, right? Now, everybody's got their own, whatever. I hope everybody out there has their own dream, their own ambitions for where they're going to go, right? Yeah, Jalal, helping the orphans. I want to help disenfranchised, young geniuses who are born into poverty. I know that there's plenty of people out there that would probably like to contribute chunks of rainforest so that it can't be deforested. Maybe there's somebody out there that wants to, fund a machine to go out there and clean all the microplastics out of the ocean. Maybe somebody out there wants to fund something to, a new energy source. You got this dream for a new energy source. Maybe you want to cure a disease, right? That's what you need to be thinking about now. That's the kind of things that we have the opportunity to really do as individuals, because we have this once in a multi-lifetime opportunity to make such unimaginable returns that those returns can be bigger than ourselves. And that's really where I'm at with this, right? That's why I'm out here. People can make fun of me all they want that I'm staying in my car. I'm doing it because I have a dream bigger than myself. If you don't have a dream bigger than yourself, then I get it. You're like, oh, this guy is smoking some crack, whatever. Accuse me of whatever. I've been accused of worse my entire life. So, people don't really upset me when they're doing it. I get upset. Let me be straight. I'm not upset with Crypto Ninja, right? I'm upset that people don't see what I'm trying to show them, because they think that I'm trying to lie to them, or that I'm like, that I'm just a moon boy or whatever, right? It's like what Steve Jobs said, right? Steve Jobs, one of his most famous quotes is, "Heed to the crazy ones," because those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Because if you are not crazy enough to think you can change the world, you will never try. And if you're not going to try to change the world, you will never change the world. It's just that simple. If you don't believe in anything, you have to believe in yourself first. So I believe in myself, and they don't believe in themselves. And that's fine. That's fine. Go your own way. Be your own person. And that's why, when you hear from these extremely successful billionaires, multimillionaires who have who have carved their way from nothing. And what is the top thing you hear those kind of people say? You hear people like Mark Cuban and Warren Buffett say, ignore the naysayers. Pursue your goal. Stick to your goal. Stick to your guns and see it through. See it through to wherever it goes. If it goes into the dirt, at least you saw it into the ground, right? And that's what it's about. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in this position right now, because I'm going to see this investment until it starts to plummet so fast that I can't even keep an amount in XRP. And then I'll be like, okay, I got enough here that if it goes anywhere, it goes up to $1, I'm a millionaire, right? When I get to that point, that's when I'm like, I got enough XRP, because if I get enough XRP so that if we even hit the previous all-time high, I'm a millionaire. That's when I stop. That's when I go and live my life and just wait to see what happens in a decade or however long. All right. But I'm not going to stop pursuing this because I see the opportunity in it. You weren't debating, dude. You were attacking me. You were attacking me living in my car. So it's not a debate. There's a fine line between debating and disingenuous argument. And that was a disingenuous argument that you presented. That's why your comment was deleted. Dragonfly Crypto. Earn 8% interest, 100% asset back guarantee. Let your asset work for you. Start earning high yield interest now on. Where's that at, Dragonfire? Is that on? Is that the Nexo or Nexo? There's so many platforms that you can get crazy yields on. It's just that you have to take the risk of storing your assets on an exchange. And personally, I can't do it because I'm a public figure. So, I'm sure that there's probably somebody out there that's already like hacked my account stuff and that my stuff's compromised already just because I'm a public figure talking about the fact that I've got a lot of XRP, right? So that's why I keep everything on a ledger myself. Now, maybe you're a lot more private, maybe you're a little more comfortable putting stuff on there, but I'm personally not, until I know that by moving my assets onto one of those exchanges, onto one of those platforms, it is impossible for it to be taken by anybody. That's why I'm on a ledger. That's why I preach by it, because I'm paranoid, because I'm a public figure now, that my assets need to be there or I'm gonna get robbed, because I have so little faith in humanity. Right? But Cellmate, there are cures for cancer and HIV, have been around for a while, but kept hidden by the scum elite of this world. They want depopulation. Cellmate, maybe. I've seen a lot of cancer treatments that have came out over the last 6 or 7 years, even that they're actually effective cancer treatments, but they're for specific types of cancer. And so maybe maybe there have been those for a long time, but I think it honestly, like, I don't like to be that skeptical or that cynical, right? I like to, from my perspective, I think that it's more so that this treatment became known, but then when it actually went through lab testing and the actual rigors of the FDA approval, or federal drug FDA approval, they just found that it's not safe or whatever it is. It's more detrimental than good. So, because a lot of these are like that, a lot of methods of killing cancer are actually really toxic to you, like chemo, for example, right? Yeah, chemo is a great way to, it's got a high chance of removing or of killing cancer, but it can also cause cancer, right? So, and there's tons of things like that. Like I saw research that you could inject CBDC or CBD, from cannabinoid into cancer and it kills it. Yo, Aiden, $3, bro. Thank you for the $3 donation, brother. I gotta get you back one of these days. As soon as I get this check, girl, and I'm actually have funds that aren't gonna be just wrapped up in XRP, so I'll start getting to you guys. But thank you for the $3, brother. But yeah, like, for me, when it comes to cancer treatments and things like that, I know that there's a lot, but we can't be cynical and think that it's like a conspiracy to hold us down or to hold us back, because think about it this way. If the elites were trying to prevent, or the elites had these cures, Steve Jobs would not have died of pancreatic cancer, right? One of the most powerful men in the world died of pancreatic cancer. If they had a cure, he would have never died. So that's the way I look at it. Like, extremely powerful people have died of cancer. And so for me, especially nowadays, right? But I get it. I get why you think that. Chemo kills you to kill cancer. While CBD, not hemp. Burn one today. uh, who is Shane Ellis? Shane Ellis was a financial consultant. I think he was actually a professional outside of crypto, a finance professional outside of crypto, and he presented this this theory of his, essentially, for how the price could actually move up rapidly without a large amount of funds being put into the ecosystem. And so that theory became known as Shane Ellis theory. XR pump, huh? Don't be cynical. Martian, please research cancer treatment. No. Trust me, I have researched it. That's why I was saying there wasn't. Well, maybe, but then you're saying that the cure for cancer only came out after, he died in 2011, or was it before that? I think he died in 2009, wasn't it? But still, so we have the cure in 2009, then it still has to go through FDA regulation check, which takes 8 years minimum of 8 years for a treatment discovered to pass all the tests and verifications that it's safe. So if it came out, dog died only just at this point where it should be available now, if it's a thing, right? And that's because there's all this paperwork and all this crazy stuff behind the scenes for one of these kind of cures to actually be made available. And I only know this because I was going to school to be a neural researcher. So I actually understand the procedures behind this, and it's not as easy as people think, What have we cured in the last 100 years? Polio, yellow fever, so many, there's so many, tuberculosis. I'm actually alive today because we cured tuberculosis. We cured, I could go on, it just takes me a little while to pull things that we've actually cured within that last 100 years, but there's tons. Smallpox, malaria. Yeah, we've cured so many things we've cured in the last 100 years that they're no longer a major threat. You get it, you go get a vaccination, you're good. So it's not that we're not curing things. It's not that these diseases aren't going away, The big issue now, though, is that there's this anti-vaxxer movement that, because of this distrust of pharmaceuticals now that's rising around the same thing, that there's the cures, but they're not giving them to us, right? And I said that in a tone, but there are these cures that they're not giving to us. Well, they're giving us cures that are available, bro. It's just, we gotta wait for these things to pass the traditional tests. But let's get back on point here. Let's see. Darcy, yes, Jade, we know the theory, but who is Shane Ellis? Yeah, he was a financial, I can't remember his actual position. Somebody, I forget who the last person was that I was hearing. Also, I need to get you modded. I didn't know that I hadn't got, that you weren't already a mod on my channel, Jungle. There you go, bro. I like to make sure that everybody here that's actually a content creator, since y'all know the struggle, I like making guys mods. Let's see, XR pump. My promotion, the same, give us cancer through vaccines. Look up Henteria lax. So that's another thing too, right? You have to keep in mind too that there's biology is like the most confusing, complex thing of all time. All right, we have so many different organic compounds in our body, in our blood, and everybody's a little bit different too. Like there's 4 major blood types, six blood types known that A negative, A, B plus, B negative, AB, O, O. Yeah, so there's 5 blood types that dramatically change the chemistry of your blood. Okay, and so for all those to be tested, and then there's different there's different types too. Like, you guys gotta keep in mind, we are extremely complex things. You can't expect there's gonna be a cure-all. Like, a cure-all is like it's the holy grail, you know. That's why curing aging is like, most people in medicine think that curing aging is like impossible, because you would have to create a aging cure for an individual, a genetically targeted aging cure. And so that's why like big machine learning might enable that a few decades, but like we're so complex as organisms, guys. Like you gotta keep in mind that like anybody out there that's not a doctor, like you, trust me, it's not about them trying to like make everybody die in population control. We're just very, very complex creatures, and we all have very minute differences between us that RH negative. That's what I was thinking of too, Hernandez. Yeah, exactly. There's so many unique things about each of us that, again, you can slow down. Okay, so tell guys. I get it. Like I know about resveratrol. I know about telomeres. I went to school for medicine. I understand these things. I'm trying to keep the conversation as on this topic as constrained as possible, right? And we're totally off of the topic. That's a great example, actually, code word, because technically lobsters are immortal, but there's still plenty of diseases that a lobster can get that'll kill a lobster. There's plenty of bacterial infections and fungal infections that can kill a lobster, an immortal creature. Jeff, I'm 30 years old, sir. Martian, shall I buy 7K XRP right now or tomorrow? Lucky D, I'm not gonna actually, but you know what I'm gonna say? Since you have to make me decide and you're only going to buy either today or tomorrow, I say buy half today, half tomorrow. Dollar cost average, brother. Dollar cost average. Or buy 1/10 this hour, buy another 10th in another 3 hours, another 10th in 3 hours, and so on and so forth. Maybe you'll get a good entry at one of those entries. Whenever people ask me when to buy, that's what I'm gonna say. Dollar cost average. That's why a Telegram group is called the DCA club. You know, the XRP DCA club, because that is what I promote like a religion. Dollar cost average, and that's gonna ensure that you get the greatest entry price that you possibly can by eliminating any sense of luck. Right? You're just going about probability that you're gonna get a good average entry that way. You're not gonna buy at the top. You might not buy at the top. You might not be able to get just a full entry at the bottom, but you'll get an average, right? You can wait for a dip that's the thing though. Darcy, you can wait for a dip, but that dip, when it comes, might not even be at the peak that we're at now, you know? We might get a jump up to 33 cents tonight. And then your dip is gonna be the 31. Buy the dip at 31 or buy the peak at 29, right? I mean, that's why I suggest dollar cost averaging though. Let's go on a crazy healthcare tangent, guys. Yeah, Joe. That's something that I actually, have a lot of insight into too. So that's why I got on that. I love medicine. I love everything to do with biology, but it's so complex. Like it is absurdly complex. Like anybody that thinks that they understand it, like if you think that you understand medicine, I promise you're at the top of the Dunning-Kruger. And if you're at the top of the Dunning-Kruger curve, that doesn't mean that you actually know. It means that you know nothing yet. The only way that I'm confident anybody in this chat knows medicine is if they are like, I don't really know. I don't know nobody knows anything. Those are the people that I trust when it comes to medicine. The people that say they know nothing because they actually understand enough to realize that nobody knows anything about this. It's so complex. Even the most complex robots still struggle and make mistakes when it comes to identifying cancer and stuff, right? And they're way more accurate than humans. But they still have that 0.01% error rate. Martian, you need a rooftop tent on your car. Nah, dude, this setup is legit. My setup here is legit. Yeah, I'll show you how this works. So I got some shit sitting on my back seat here, but trail mix, the best. Okay, so I'll show you guys real quick how this operates. I got back here, I pull my seat down, right? And then that's my bed. I use this, I put my pillows on this, and I kick my legs back into the trunk. and I got an inflatable mattress back there, so it's super comfortable. Like it's just like sitting on bed, and I got great support. I sleep like a baby every night. So like it's also kind of low key too. You know, like I know a lot of people that crash in their van. There's somebody in the stream earlier that he crashes in his van, but it's like it's a little more obvious when you're van life. This it's like super low key. So I also like that because you know it's not as obvious that I'm crashing out my car, and it's I've minimized my lifestyle so much that like you know it doesn't even really look like when I actually have all my trash out of the car. I've got like a little trash bag here in my passenger seat, but when I actually have all that cleared out, it doesn't even seem like I live in the car. I put this up because you know I like to, so, you know, I get lazy sometimes. I just put my clothes on the open seat back here sometimes when I get a mountain of dirty clothes before a laundry day. That's why I use that, so you don't know if I got a laundry day or not. You know what I mean? Jay, please say we are friends for life. Ferdy, we're all friends. Anybody in this ecosystem, everybody in the XRP ecosystem, we're friends for life because of the New World Order. So we gotta be friends, or we're gonna start a world war when we all become powerful enough to start a world war. You know what I mean? So like, let's be cool, guys. Let's be BFFs. I'm absolutely like that. And like, you know, you don't ever want to piss off a millionaire because you know it only costs $2,000 to hire somebody to kill somebody. So like, you know, I don't want to piss off anybody out here that's gonna be a future millionaire. You know what I mean? I value my life. Mark Cameron, I live in San Diego, so I crashed in my car. So like wherever I sleep, it's somewhere here in San Diego. I like crashing on the beach. I like crashing, you know, in upper middle class neighborhoods where I don't have to worry about, you know, hobos. I am homeless technically, but like when there's like a community of people in San Diego, like some pretty professional people too. I know a lawyer who's camping out of his car, well, out of his bus. But like, there's some really successful people in San Diego who camp out of their vehicle. It's stealth camping is what we call it, because you save so much money on rent. It's absurd how expensive rent is in the cities in California, and so people like us, we snowball instead of being some, you know, consumer, we call anybody that has an apartment, they're a consumer to us. You know, you're you know, no offense to 99% of y'all out there watching, but the people out there who are, you know, renting an apartment, you're consumers to us. You're sheep. You're sheep who pay for an apartment that's overpriced, way more than you should be paying, when you could literally crash in a car, save all that money, and put it towards your future. Put it towards taking a vacation. A lot of these people, you know, a lot of them do it because they like to take vacations every year. A lot of, you know, they either like to take vacations, they like to have nice stuff, you know. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of different people do it. A few people that I know, they're doing it because they're doing exactly the same thing. One of the people in the stream, Mike, I'm gonna see if Mike wants to be in the stream tomorrow. I'm gonna invite him to do a live stream with me tomorrow, so it'll be Friends Friday. And so I'm gonna have another van lifer who's also in XRP, as it turns out. He's got a lot of XRP too. I know another van lifer who is stacking XRP, and he was in this chat a little bit earlier. I think he left. I haven't seen him comment in a minute, but I'm gonna see about getting him into the video, and anybody else that's in the San Diego area. I want to make that a reoccurring theme too, sort of like, you know, Mondays, or we go out and ask the public. So, you know, Moon Mondays. Maybe we'll call it Moon Mondays because, you know, it's where we're trying to get people to buy in, right? Yeah, no, Jeff, and that's another thing too, right? And that, I don't mean, that's why I said no offense to anybody out there that isn't able to do this, because I know, you know, a lot of you specifically actually have, you know, children or a spouse that would never go for, you know, men. You know, there's no excuse for a single male in south of the Mason-Dixon line, and you don't have a kid and not be car camping to stack your bags fat, other than the fact that you just don't believe in whatever it is. You know, if you don't believe in XRP, you should, you know, if you aren't able to retire, why aren't you taking advantage of that option? Is my mindset, right? Now, everybody's got their own excuse. Everybody's got their own reason why they can't pursue the lifestyle that I am right now, and I don't fault anybody for it, right? Like, it's a hard life to, first off, it's a hard life to get into, And even after I did this for almost a whole year last year. Like I did almost 10 months last year, and I'm about 2 months into it now, right? And it's doesn't get, there's still a level of difficulty to doing it, like bathrooms, staying showered and clean. There's also like a lot of social mind fucking that will go on with it, because you like you'll camp out somewhere and you won't want, like I'll get like in my head like, oh, I hear people outside my car, I don't hear them, so somebody doesn't see my face as I get out of my back seat when I wake up in the morning, like so because there's a shame level with it. There is a shame that society and many people in the chat see. There are people in my chat shaming me for staying in my car, like even though I've made clear why I'm doing it, but I can't go in and just explain that to somebody on the side of the street when I come out, so yeah. Ducky, I love my home. My home is my castle, museum, laboratory, test kitchen, whatever I want it to be. And that's another thing too, like some of y'all, like a lot of y'all, there's probably a lot of y'all in the chat that just have like fantastic careers and money's not really an issue for you, right? Like that's not my position. That's never been my position in life. I was born into literal despot poverty. Like, both my parents were disabled by the time I was 13. So like I've only known poverty. My most affluent years of my life were while I was serving in the Navy. And then as soon as I got out, I got no job offers. And so I was right back to despot poverty. So it's, for me, this is my option. This is the only option for me to actually save and accrue a real nest egg in this asset class before it booms. Tall Midget 123, you have the greatest story in this space. When we get rich, this will be fruitful for you. Much respect, brother. Thank you for the $5. And you know what? I do look forward to that day when I can. Whoa. Rich Silla, brother, thank you for the $100 bomb. Wow. Thank you so much. You're a champion, brother. You're an absolute champion. Guys, okay, so actually I gotta say too, I need to put this out there because thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. That's gonna be some ZERPs next month. Thank you so much, brother. Like, fucking awesome, brother. Okay, so there's a lot of awesome people in my community who regularly give to me too. And so to those people, I want to say, first off, the reason I'm saying this is YouTube takes 30% of every donation somebody gives to me. So thank you so much for the $100. And to anybody out there though that regularly donates to me, if you like to regularly donate to me, I would much rather you actually go to my Patreon page. It's in my description, and do your regular donations through there, because then I will only lose, I think it's like 5% of whatever you donate to me each month or consistently. But thank you so much for that $100 bonus, brother. Holy crap. You can donate XRP on, the issue is that I can only stream on YouTube right now because I wanted to stream on it's absolutely absurd that they take 30%, but yeah, they Aiden can vouch for anybody that streams can vouch for me. It's 30% that YouTube just takes right off the top. And so if you want to be a regular donator to my stream, please donate through my Patreon page. And I'm gonna start, I gotta create a list so I can give a shout out to everybody that's been contributing to me on my Patreon, because like I shout them out when they first do it, but like since it's reoccurring, I want to be able to like continually be like, yo, this person's still donating to me, thank you so much. I'm on Coil. Nobody follows me on Coil. I think I got 2 followers on Coil, but like that's because I don't like blogging. I can write, I like to do writings, but like there's not a real return on Coil for doing that. This is that, and when I do Coil pages or on Cinnamon even, right? The only people that are seeing my Coil or Cinnamon content at all are people in the XRP community already. And I have this channel more so to try and reach people who are outside of the XRP community, or people who are just starting to research into XRP, right? That's really why I'm here. But dude, thank you so much again for that $100 bone, brother. Thank you so much. And who was somebody else sent me the $5? Tall Midget. Thank you so much. And seriously, thank you, Richie Silla. You guys are fucking awesome. This community is like, the coolest community ever. You guys are the most generous community ever. And I seriously appreciate that so many of you tune into me every day to just see what's going on in the news, see what my take is. You know, like literally anybody out there in the XRP community, I know that a lot of you, because you've been out here too for a long time, I know a lot of you guys could absolutely, oh, how's it going, dude? Glad to see you. Notorious. I love your content. That comedy night, your comedy night video, I think it's your newest one. Comedy night video was just hilarious. Anybody that hasn't checked out Notorious's newest video, fantastic. And DNI, your newest video on the IMF, that was some good stuff. I think that we covered one of the same articles actually, but DNI did a lot more coverage on a lot more on the IMF and a little bit more than I covered here even. So if you want more in-depth information, he's a hidden gem in our community. He needs to have, like, if you're 176 people in the stream, if you're not currently subscribed to DNI, you need to be. And the same with Aiden. You need to be subscribed to Aiden. Aiden, dropping another $10 on me, brother. 13 for the day. Thank you so much, brother. Fucking awesome. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. XRP. Hell yeah. Isn't Twitch like 5% take? I don't know. I don't use Twitch. DeepMind Lab, subscribe to both. Absolutely. Yeah, both are worth it too. Aiden, you're brilliant for you're 14 still, right? You're brilliant, brother. Pally with a $9 bomb, brother. You guys are blowing me up today. I'm up to $143 and we're just BS at this point. I love you guys. You're awesome. You're all awesome. Thank you guys so much. Aiden with BNB the bomb salute. Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There are so many great content creators out here in the chat. Like, they're in the ecosystem. If you've been researching XRP for more than, really more than a year, you definitely have a lot firmer grasp of what's going on in this ecosystem than a lot of people who are out here doing research. And so there's no reason that you shouldn't also be starting up your own channel. Ferdy, Martian, can you please tell me something about corridors? That would be nice of you. Corridors? You mean these channels through which money flows via utility, right? Utility volume through corridors, like the Mexican peso and the Filipino peso, the pesos, peso for peso. Doing a U.S. to Mexico peso or U.S. to Mexico corridor? Maybe. I don't know. Are we talking about federal or money actually going to swell this year? To they're delaying their quarterly report for Q3 until the 1st of November, so that maybe most people don't know what's going on with MoneyGram before swell. Maybe. It's guys. Martian needs a veggie burger. Valley, that's spot on, because I don't eat beef anymore at all. But I gotta give up chicken. Because my girlfriend is vegetarian and she just does not approve of me consuming any animal flesh. And I've been slowly transitioning away, because beef is like, I don't even care about the methane of cows. Beef is actually the leading cause of the growth of our agricultural industry, because for every pound of beef you have to have like an acre of corn being grown for that beef. And so it's like, I think it's even more than that. I think it's it's an acre. And so you figure that every year, if you eat a burger every day, you're eating essentially 4 cows. So you're eating 4 acres of corn. You're demanding 4 acreage of feed for something that you're going to eat. Yet 4 acreage of corn could sustain anybody for like multiple years. Any one person, if you store the corn. Kind of crappy eating only corn, right? But like, the point being that essentially 5 acres of corn, that would feed you for multiple years, versus the cow that's, you're just eating the burger, and you have to figure that cow then has to have acres of land to go. You have to put water into that, so that's why I stopped burgers. But I still eat chicken. And I'm not trying to preach veganism to anybody, I don't care what anybody does. I don't do it from it's not about so much about moral to me why I'm going to that route. It's more so just about sustainability, and I apply the philosophy of universal maxim to everything that I do in life, right? So like if everybody in the world did what I do, could the world survive? And when it comes to beef, no. So I'm not gonna do it, you know. But that's a sacrifice. Here's the thing: don't have if you got rid of all the cows, you could grow like squash, you could grow green beans, you could grow strawberries, you could grow anything you want on those 5 acres, right? The planet's gonna survive, but you know the fact that 200, we won't get into it because I know that I'm not even gonna get into that because I know that a lot are taking over the majority of the terrestrial arable land on our planet. So you know, we won't talk about that because I get it. A lot of people don't ascribe to that. Don't think that that's don't think that 7.4 billion people is a little bit more than our planet can sustain. $20 though from JXRP Flight. Keep it up, Martian, and block that. You know, I think I'm not even getting to him before before the moderators keep destroying his comments. But thank you for the laws, bro, and thank you for the 20 bones. That's great. It's true. Meat takes gas to transport it and food to feed it. The cows, water, pesticides, hormones. It's like there's so much behind it. But you know, it's whatever. It's your choice. I'm not trying to make somebody feel guilty though. You know, like it's my choice. I do it because that's my choice. You know, you can eat beef. You know, it's fine. I mean, eventually, science is going to make it so that everybody's eating artificial beef, and they're not going to realize it anyways. So, you know, it's whatever. I mean, most of y'all out there who also are in that camp don't have anything against GMOs, you know, because I don't think GMOs are bad either, right? To be clear, that's something we're trying to push that campaign, right? But you know, those same people don't think that GMOs are bad. They're arguably not. But you know, we don't want to get on this topic. We gotta stay talking about XRP. Yeah. We're also almost 2 hours in the stream, so like I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about. Deep Mind, on the topic of my girlfriend, as far as XRP friendly, what does she think about you in your car? She is terrified of the fact that I'm living in my car. She thinks that I'm gonna get like killed staying in my car one of these nights. You know, somebody's gonna rob me or whatever. And or you know, and as far as XRP, she's like, you know, she's supportive of me being involved in this, but she doesn't understand it at all. So it's like a good balance, you know what I mean? It's a perfect balance. And so, you know, she's skeptical, but she's open to me taking this risk. And that's what's really important, is that she's not, you know, attacking me for doing this. You know, she's just worried. She's just worried that I'm going to such extremes for this. And you know, in good right or in good reason. You know, like I think that anybody who, I mean, like my parents are worried that well, my mother's worried that I'm doing this. My dad's just like, well, you do you, son. You know, be a man. You know, well. She's in Malaysia XRP pumped, so yeah, she can't really stop me. And that's also why I'm going to Malaysia in December, because I'm gonna be spending the winter there, probably like 6 months, so like more winter and spring there, and then we're gonna be coming back here. Well, yeah, we'll be coming back here, or I'll be coming back maybe before April, and she'll be coming here in April, and then we'll be trying to get a place here probably. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm hoping I can convince her to try van life. I doubt it's gonna work, but I'll try to convince her to do van life, but we'll see how that works out. Cellmate, way too much unknown with GMO foods. No thanks. Don't. Yeah. We'll avoid those topics because it's off topic. There's a lot of politicism when it comes to anything that I've been spouting. So I'm not gonna. I'm sorry that I got on the topic, and it's a dicey thing to even get into. You know, it's personal belief. You know, everybody's got their own beliefs. Everybody has done their own research. We're all experts when it comes to those kind of things because, you know, there's so much information out there, misinformation and otherwise, that it's impossible for any of us to say who's right, you know? So that's why I say everybody's entitled to their own opinion when it comes to it, and that's why I don't try and push it. It's like religion, you know? Nobody knows, right? And so we're all entitled to our belief, And, you know, I respect your belief, you respect mine, and we'll go out talking about XRP because that's what we're all here for, right? Lucky XRP investor, Finestra, Viacoms, DTCC in February. The rest of the world, domino effect, patience, live long, prosper, peace. Yes, dude. And that's something else, right? Like, I really need to get into digging deep into Finestra and DTCC. Via Americas, though. Is it confirmed that Via Americas is working with Ripple? Because they're huge, too. I'm not looking to Via Americas. Maybe that's what we'll talk about. Well, tomorrow's gonna be the Friends Friday. If Mike wants to actually join the stream, if he's up for it. If not, then that's what we'll talk about. I'll start doing some research into Finestra tonight and Via Americas especially because I haven't heard of that. DTCC, and we'll talk about the figures behind that tomorrow. But otherwise, yeah, positive vibrations all around. That's all we're out here. Ron. Yes, XRP will be wife changing. Oops, hope my wife's not in the chat. Oh, Carl Eric B. Mills, how's it going, brother? Good evening, XRP Martians. Please stand firm and remain XRP strong. We're at the new frontier. Absolutely, brother. XRP Nation, I think that's the first comment I've seen from you. This year is the liquidity crisis is pivotal for XRP price. Moon come fast. Yes, dude, absolutely. We've been talking about that. Most of the stream earlier, we talked a lot about the fact that this is, you know, we're watching with this financial crisis is absolutely going to be a catalyst for this coming bull run. So many people risk adverse and clueless. This chance will pass them by and they will be shocked how quick we move. XRP moon time, I agree. I think that, you know, it's like I said yesterday, things are only slow until they're not. You know, change comes slowly before it comes rapidly. I did somebody commented, I can't remember who, but somebody was commenting on one of my videos, the video that I had the GIF talking about XRP moon soon or XRP is going to moon. Somebody commented on that saying $100 by 2020. And the comment thread ended up going into talking about exponentials because, you know, we've seen a 5% increase. And this is going to be the last comment before we wrap up for the day. All right. So I've seen a 5% increase in price every week for the last 5 weeks. Okay. If this continues, a 5% increase every week for the next year, right? We say that it's not just going to be for the next month. It's going to be the next year. Only 5% every week. By middle of next year, we're going to be at $1. But I think it's within 14 weeks of us hitting $1 at 5% compound, we're going to hit $2. 9 weeks from then, we're at $3. If you continue that same effect forward, by the time we get to November of 2021, we're at $54 XRP. Just 5% every week. So people might out there might be stressed, might be anxious that we're only seeing a 5% gain per week, that these pumps aren't going, 10, 20, 100% every, at a time. But just remember, slow and steady wins the race. If we can see this 5% growth every single week for a year, we're going to be at all-time highs. We see it for 2 years, we're at $50 XRP, right, guys? So I just want everybody to chew on that. Keep in mind, that's how exponential growth works, right? It takes 1 year to get to $4, and then it only takes 1 more year to get to $50. And then 1 more year, we're at $500, right? That's how it's going to play out, hopefully. Now, maybe we'll get a little more exponential. We'll have to have a cool-off period. We'll see how it goes. But this growth we're seeing right now, I like it. I'm happy with it. I want to see it go the same way. That's not how it works. That's how compounds work, yeah. 5% on top of 5% on top of 5% is 18%, 19%. It's not 15, it's about 18 to 19 once you get up in there, because you're adding that 5% onto the previous 5% and so on, right? But with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in the stream. Thank you again to everybody who donated $163 today. Thank you guys so much. And once again, if you like or you appreciate my content and want to continue to donate in the future, please donate through my Patreon link because then you're not giving 30% of your donation to YouTube. I deeply appreciate everybody who donated to me, but I would much more appreciate if you donated through Patreon as opposed to here. Even if it's just one-time donations through Patreon, more of those funds are going to reach me, and I'm not going to have to wait a whole month, until the 22nd every month before those funds are able to hit my account. Whenever I need it from my Patreon, I can just withdraw my Patreon funds in upon that in a sticky situation. But thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. I can't wait to see all of you in my next video. You guys out here, I know I went off topic on XRP, but thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for, not reaming me for my beliefs. I respect everybody out there for theirs. That's how we march the work. We are not divided. We are united in our cause for $1,000 XRP. Let's go, Mars! I'll see you all there. Have a great day, a great night, everybody.